Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to PCTV's first ever broadcast of the Panther Sports Rewind, Principia College live recap of the fall sports for the 2022 season. I'm Cami Abadi, your favorite French anchor.
And I'm Nate Branningham, your favorite fifth-year anchor. And for the next hour, we'll be looking back at Principia College's 4 fall sports: volleyball, soccer, cross country, and rugby. We'll get full recaps of each season, including video highlights of memorable moments in each sport. Then, we'll get to hear from some of our own Panthers about how their seasons went.
Our first sport of the lineup for tonight's rewind is women's volleyball. The volleyball season started off with a lot of adversity for our Lady Panthers. Mary-Ann Sprague, the head volleyball coach for the last 17 years, stepped down right before the pandemic, which left the team scrambling for both a new roster and a coach for the 2021 season. Slowly gathering players, the volleyball program was able to create a small but mighty group of 10 players. These women were very familiar to the Hayfield House court, and 4 of the athletes also plays for our women's basketball team. The team had a few new faces, not just on the court, but off it as well. Jeffrey Davis joined the Principia World of Athletics in August, coming to us with over 10 years of coaching experience at the collegiate level. Most notably, his coaching career at WashU as a volleyball coach led the Bears to 2 NCAA Division III national championships.
Unfortunately, with major shifts in players and coaches, this season fell short for the Panthers, having lost all of their games. However, despite the losses, the team showed a lot of growth as they wrapped up the season. Each game, the Panthers expressed positivity toward their teammates and opponents, walking on and off the court with nothing but grace.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the volleyball season. Well, I don't know about you, but that got me really excited for next year and seeing what they'll bring to us next season. Not that we'll be there to see it, but very exciting. Now that we have seen all the growth this volleyball season, I'd like to welcome Maddie Leslie onto the show tonight. Hi, Maddie.
Hey guys, nice to be here.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
So first question we have for you tonight is, how long have you been playing volleyball?
I have been playing volleyball since I was in 6th grade, so what is that? 3, 7, 11 years now, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oof. Why did you keep going back to it? It's been 11 years. It's a long time.
It is a long time. Well, one is commitment, to the teams I was on in my high school and here. And I also really, really love the sport. So that really helps. Yeah.
That's awesome. What's the favorite part of the teams that you've been on, either high school and college?
High school, I think my favorite season ever was my sophomore year. We went to state, and I was playing bench most of the season because I was a sophomore, but I played so much in the state championship and had a lot of blocks, and it was a really fun team. And then, honestly, I think last year, even though it was really crazy and hectic with not having a coach or players and figuring that out, I had really great friendships bond, and so that was really fun.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
So if we were to fast forward to this final season, for you, you're a senior, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How does that make you feel?
It's bittersweet, definitely. I mean, I'm not going to be missing losing every game, I will say that, but I do believe the program will continue to grow, and with Jeffrey Davis, he's an amazing coach. I know it'll do a lot better. So I'm definitely sad about not having another season, but I feel very grateful for what I've been able to give in, and yeah, it's been really awesome. So
That's great. Yeah, that is cool to kind of be at the forefront of a program that's going to build itself up over the next few years.
Exactly. I'm just really foundation, as they say, right?
It's a good place to be. It's a good place to be.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a volleyball connoisseur.
Okay.
Can you, in a few words, explain what is the game of volleyball?
That's funny you bring that up. Nathan and I were talking before the show started. I think you were out. But it's basically competitive, don't let the balloon touch the floor is the way. That was a really simple idea, but yeah, it's 6 players each side, no contact. You pass, set, spike, and it's super intense, really high speed, which makes it really fun to watch and play. So it's awesome.
There's different positions, I suppose.
Yes, yeah. So I am about 6 feet tall, so I am a middle blocker or an outside because I can get up pretty high on the net. Neha was our setter. She would never be a blocker because she's just so cute. But she is an amazing setter, so that's where she's perfect. And then we have defensive players who play back row only, and people who hit on either side too. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool sport. We should play it.
I might give it a try. Maybe we'll see.
Come back for a 5th year. Give it a shot.
I'm gonna push it.
You're so welcome. I won't be here, but I know you'll be welcome.
Okay. Well, you set the foundation, so you know.
Exactly.
I'm ready to kick it off. Yeah, I'll be there for that.
Well, my goodness.
To kind of end on this volleyball kind of little talk, what would be the most memorable thing, because it's been 3 years, right, of volleyball here at Prin. What would be for you the most memorable thing to remember in these past 3 seasons?
Honestly, when I think about it, I think one of the best nights of the last 2 years especially, my freshman year was just so long ago, and it was really fun, but I came into a team that was established, which was cool. But probably senior night this season was really awesome. My family wasn't able to come, but they all made a video and it played before the game. And we actually, that game, did the best we did the whole season. We went 22 to 25 in a set. Really good.
Gosh.
So
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's
good
awesome.
end.
Well,
Indeed.
Well, congrats on your long collegiate career of volleyball.
Thank you. Thank you.
Glad you put it out there for the Lady Panthers, as we call the women. Yeah, exactly. There we go. She got it.
I got it.
But yeah, thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course.
And we will be right back to move on to our next sport that is on everyone's mind as the World Cup has everyone checking their phones all the time. Nate?
Sorry.
Oh, gosh.
Do another little paper clack here?
We can do an old little paper. Wait. I might know all over the place. Oh, goodness.
Welcome back, everybody, to Principia's Panther Sport Rewind. Kimmy, what sport will we be covering next?
Well, Nate, funny you ask. We are covering football.
If I'm not mistaken, we have not had a football team at Principia College for a good while. Are you talking about soccer?
No. You are mistaken, actually, not me. We are talking about football, or whatever you guys call it, soccer for some odd reason. Where does soccer even come from?
I don't know, but...
Huh. But football, I can explain where football came from. You play football with a ball, just put it on your foot.
No,
football.
Soccer just sounds so much better.
That's because you
and
have
football is way more interesting. So, whatever. But I'm pretty sure that the United States tied England, and if I'm not mistaken, we just beat Iran. So by virtue, Iran. That's my mistake. By virtue of our tie with England, we now have to call it soccer.
Well, you know what? I'm going to end this debate. Nate, you can stand wherever you want to stand on it. We are now going to cover the women's season.
All right, sure thing, Kenny. The women's soccer team was a force to be reckoned with as the young team stepped up to meet every challenge they faced on and off the field. The team started off strong, staying undefeated during their first 3 preseason games, and this was a great start for the Panthers.
9 new players joined the team this season as freshmen and transfers. They joined the other 8 seasoned returners to help in creating a team atmosphere that was unified, despite having such a new team.
The Panthers were joined this season by 2 new coaches. The team was assisted by Dr. Galen Benson, a professor here at the college. The coach, or as the team called him, Dr. Coach, brought a sense of serenity to the team, allowing them to further their development both on and off the field. The leader of this group of rambunctious and spirited Panthers was head coach Samuel Thomas. Coach Sam was not new to the pitch, as he played for Principia as the men's soccer goalie during his collegiate career, graduating in 2012. In his collegiate coaching career, he has led Old Dominion University, or ODU, to have their best defensive year in program history, and has also led SIUE to a conference championship, upsetting the number 2 seed Notre Dame.
As the season progressed, the Lady Panthers showed their unity while matching up to the best teams in the conference. By the end of the season, the team had a 4-10 in-conference record, meaning they won 4 games and lost 10, leading these girls to finish 6th overall. They were able to compete in the first round in the conference tournament quarterfinals against Greenville. However, they fell short, ending their season. Despite the bittersweet end, the team showed tremendous growth on and off the field while showing that they could work together to put the ball in the back of the net. Let's take a look.
Here in the studio is none other than our soccer and TikTok star, Viviani De Castro, one of the captains of the 2022 season. Vivi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. It was fun watching that back. It makes me miss the season.
It was pretty sweet. So first question, how long have you been playing soccer?
I've been playing for 6 years. So I started my freshman year of high school, which is kind of late, but I was occupied by gymnastics my whole life.
Understandable. Very understandable.
What made you want to switch from gymnastics to soccer? Or football, but soccer.
No, it's...
I like it. Football.
Thank you.
Portuguese.
There we go.
Also, my little Brazilian flag on my necklace. But anyways, I did gymnastics from when I was 2 to 14. It's a very mental sport. I did it a lot, 6 times a week for 4 hours a day. And I didn't really, like I had my gymnastics friends, like I didn't really hang out with school friends. I didn't feel like I missed out on a lot. And so I couldn't imagine in high school doing the same thing. Like you just miss out on so many things. I mean, like any, I think, professional athlete, like I wanted to go to a really high level. But then it was time to let go. And I kind of wanted to follow my brother's footsteps, which is why I chose to play soccer. And I felt like it was like in my blood, like I had to do it. So I chose soccer.
For sure. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So in those 6 years, I'm sure there's been a ton of ups and downs. What has like kept you coming back to the sport?
I honestly like never thought about quitting. I feel like even till this, like right now, I just finished the season, but I still feel like I'm not done. And I feel like there's more to do, and whatever it is. I still have 1 more year actually of eligibility.
You're 6?
Whether I play somewhere else for graduate school or whatever it may be. But I don't know. I think when you play a sport, you can bring creativity to what you do. And like there's the guidelines of sports, but then like what you do in those guidelines like, makes you the athlete that you are. So I feel like I've been able to bring my 2 nationalities of Brazil and being American to how I play. And so I think I've just really kept playing because I feel really, really proud to say that like I'm a soccer player. I don't know why. It just like it really connects me to Brazil. And I don't get to go back very often. So I think that's why I go back.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
I'm curious about that kind of mix of the 2 nationalities. Can you tell us a bit more about what do you mean by mixing, you being Brazilian and you being American and finding that in soccer?
Yeah, I think, like you guys said, the World Cup has been happening and the U.S. played today, which was a very great win. But there's just a different in style of play, I think, when you see European soccer players playing and when you see North American soccer players playing. And it could be like the flashiness or how much someone dribbles or just the story behind an athlete. A lot of soccer players from Brazil come from nothing. And I think in the U.S. there's a difference. You like work up because you have a lot of money sometimes because you're able to go to those academy practices and you're able to go to those showcases and be seen. And in Brazil, I feel like, or in maybe third world countries, you're seen because of your talent. And so that's the difference, I think, in sometimes how you see the game. And it's just a lot more creativity when I see Brazil play. And I know that I'm American, but I just have a lot more like heart when I watch Brazil play. And hopefully I can bring that when I play soccer too.
Yeah, for sure. That makes a lot of sense. That might be why the U.S. has not necessarily been the most successful.
Yeah, and I think Brazil might get their 6th star this year. I don't know.
Maybe. Don't jinx
it.
Don't jinx it.
We'll see about that.
So after your season's over, you said you have another year of eligibility, but this might be your last Principia season. How are you feeling now that it's over?
I'm feeling a little less in shape. I know it just ended, but you're like, what do I do with my time? But I feel like we had a little more to give. I think we gave what we could, but I think scoreboard-wise, we could have done more. So I think about that a little bit. But I'm really proud of where we started and how we ended. So yeah, definitely have to see the good at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's important to also be able to reflect on, those good things. And my coach always said, like, the only thing you're going to remember is the feeling. It's not going to be the number. It's not going to be whatever it was at the end of the day. So
yeah, in our last game against Greenville, you shared that. That was our conference, our last conference game, or not conference game, conference opponent in the tournament. But the score was not good. Okay, it wasn't fun. But I just remember a certain moment where I knew that we were going to lose and we were going to continue. And for me, I was like, this is it, like I'm done. And I just it was 23 minutes left, I think, and I was just like, I started crying, and they had just scored, I think, their 5th goal on us, and I asked everyone to come in, and I was just said, because I knew that they were kind of defeated and were going to give up a little bit. And so I just said, like while I'm crying, I'm like, please, like, I know that you guys have another season, but this is all I have. Like, please fight for these last 23 minutes. Like, I don't care, we're going to lose, but, like, let's just keep going because, like, this is all I have. And I'm, like, sobbing. And they're like, okay, yeah, respect. And I was like, all right, let's do it. So, screw the score, but great moment.
Yeah. No, that sounds like a super, super powerful moment. Oh, my goodness. I can only imagine. Yeah.
And you were team captain as well, so I guess that responsibility on top of it as well to kind of lead them in that moment of just a bit of sadness maybe, or just kind of like, that's
lots of responsibility. I mean, it wasn't perfect, that's for sure, but I definitely grew a lot in my role of captain, and you know, how to help others and communicate effectively, not just the way you communicate, but how someone else will listen is really important. And I learned that.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, well, those are great lessons to learn, and I'm sure if we asked the other members of the team, they would say that you did a pretty damn good job as captain. So, well, I guess our final question, you may have already shared it with us already, but favorite memory from Principia soccer, if not the one you shared.
Or memories. Seems like it's a tough one to.
Yeah. You know, I'll say this year, my mom came out and watched me play. My dad came out. He's never watched me play soccer before.
Oh my gosh.
My brother came out. He's never watched me play soccer before. My grandma came from Brazil. She's never watched me play. And my sister came, and she's never watched me play.
Hey, that'll do it.
My goodness.
So it was a very emotional game.
Yeah.
But I couldn't have asked for a better family, like, honestly. I was just so grateful. And my mom has come every single parents' weekend. So, yeah, those two memories. It wasn't really about soccer. It was, like, about family, but it involved soccer.
For sure.
Football.
Someone gets it.
Oh, my gosh. No, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Alrighty. Well, thank you so very much, Viv, for giving your time to us this evening. It was a pleasure
you guys.
interviewing you.
It was fun.
And thank you for a fantastic season. You have a fantastic rest of your night.
Me too.
Yes, thank you, Viv. Let's move on to the men's soccer team. It was hard to miss this season, both on and off the field, as you were bound to have at least one of the players in a class. They have 40 players on their roster. 15 of these men made up a reserve team for the season, ensuring nearly everybody some playing time. This large team, to say the least, was led by a seasoned coach, Jess Semnaka, who ended his college playing career in 2005 after being a defensive player. He was originally hired as the men's assistant coach, and then in 2011 he got hired as the head women's coach and is now the men's head coach.
The team had a strong start to their season, staying undefeated for their first 4 games. The team did not give up many losses, ending with a 6-4-4 record for the season. Due to their relentless work, both physically and mentally, the men's team was able to get into the first round of the tournament quarterfinals. They faced off against Eureka on their home turf and came away winning. The win was nothing short of exciting, as the Panthers went into penalty kicks with the final tally of 4-3. The new German goalie, Torben Rennert, was the star of the show that night, as Principia fans rushed onto the field to congratulate the goalie and celebrate the team. The team then went on to the semifinals against Greenville. After a 0-0 score at the end of the first half, the men were finally defeated after a goal was given up towards the end of the second half, ending their season. The team showed a valiant effort this season, and we are sure a SLIAC championship win is in their future.
The boys' dedication and love for the sport brought them closer as a team, allowing them to work together for a phenomenal season. Let's take a look.
We'd now like to introduce a player who cannot be missed when you look out onto the field. Defensive man and captain, E.G. Pierce. E.G., how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for having me.
That's what we like to see. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So, tell us a bit more about your, what is it, sixth season? Fifth season?
Fifth.
Fifth, sorry.
He's not that old. We are not that old.
Yes, sorry, I am in the minority over here. So yeah, tell us a bit more about the season.
Well, it was definitely a nice turnaround from the last couple of years. I think COVID did not do us too many favors on and off the field. But this year we had a huge new group, a lot of young guys, a lot of transfers, and as you mentioned, we made it pretty far, came up a little bit short, but I think it was a great base to build, and hopefully the team can build off of it in the future, and another SLEAC championship on the way.
Heck yeah, another one loading. I see you're wearing the merch from the last time you guys won the SLEAC championship.
Yes, this is throwback to 2019. Could have been nice to have one this year, but at least I got one under the belt.
That's true. That's true. One is, some of us don't have any, so
right.
Your one is still very impressive.
Yes. What's your favorite thing about soccer? Football.
Soccer.
As an American, I'm going to call it soccer, but kind of like Viv from your previous interview, I also am split half and half. So my mom's side is Czech, so I guess I could also call it football. But
you shouldn't, though.
But no, I will not for the sake of this. My
Viv,
favorite thing.
You have my heart.
My favorite thing about soccer. I don't know, I just love the camaraderie, the brotherhood. That's a big thing that we emphasize here, and I think you can't go wrong with that.
For sure. That's a great one. So for you personally, we've asked all of our athletes this so far, but how long have you personally been playing soccer?
This is year 17 in the books.
Dang.
Yeah. So it's been a while.
Indeed. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. That's a long career. I can't imagine doing anything really for 17 years of my life. That's pretty nuts.
Still loving it.
Good.
That's good.
That's really what matters, for sure.
What makes you keep coming back for 16 years?
I mean, it's just the first sport I ever started playing. As much as people always thought I played basketball, that's not the case. But I know I just got a big heart for it, and it's something I'm really passionate about and want to keep doing. So I think that's all the motivation that I need.
That's awesome. So you said you want to keep doing it. Do you have any future plans regarding soccer that you want to break live on air?
Year number 6. No, that's not possible. I used all my eligibility for those wondering. No, I think it'd be great to try and pursue that, outside of Prin and some kind of semi-professional or professional aspect, and kind of set the way for future guys here. I think a lot of people think that Division III is kind of where you stop, but I think there's a lot of talent here, and I think if I could help pave the way, that'd be great.
For sure, that would be awesome. Well, for my untrained eye, I definitely think that you've got what it takes to go play pro soccer somewhere. It would be awesome to watch you do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I have a bit maybe of a stupid question for some, but how's it feel to be the tallest one on the team playing soccer?
I knew this was coming. Well, for my sake, I think it's definitely a big positive. I'm a defender, so that's all I need to just get up there and win those headers. And I think hopefully I give off some kind of dominant aura on the field to scare the opponents away.
You definitely do. So we've talked a little bit about the fact that this is your 5th year. If I remember correctly, this was not your initial plan.
No.
You were on campus in another capacity before.
Let's just say my first 2 weeks were volunteer coaching, and then I just decided to re-enroll. Shout out to the registrar, and I'm taking a few classes to maintain my eligibility, and I came back to use my 5th year because of COVID. So
heck yeah, that's
all
awesome.
worked out.
Indeed it did. Well, it was awesome to get to watch you take advantage of that extra year of eligibility. It was really cool to see you out there again on the pitch. So it was a lot of fun.
What would be maybe your favorite memory of this last season that you didn't even think was going to happen, but?
I think a big one was the win against Webster at home on senior day. It'd been 5 years since we beat them, and beating them in front of the fans and celebrating the seniors and shutting them out too, which does not happen often against them. That was a big highlight. So that's up there in the books for sure.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, that was an awesome game, and you guys had a truly awesome season to behold. So thank you so much, EG, for being here tonight. We really appreciate your time. It was awesome to get to talk to you. Have a fantastic rest of your night, brother.
You too.
All right, don't go anywhere. We will be right back to go over the last 2 sports from the fall 2022 season. See you in a bit.
Welcome back, everybody. With so many sports here at Prin, we have many different sports facilities throughout campus.
That's a fair observation, Nate.
Thank you.
And that's why we have Noah Boutron, a soccer player, and the director of this show, who shows us all the amenities student athletes have access to. Noah, take it away.
Welcome to Principia. I'm going to be giving you a tour of the athletics facilities. Come on. We have tons of soccer fields here. Like this one, it's small. And this one? We play games on it, I promise. It's just covered right now, because it's winter. We just tucked her in about 3 weeks ago. She's sleeping. This is Hexburg Tennis Center. It has tennis courts, like this one, or this one, and this one over here. We also have these ones. They're outside. This is Crafton. Basketball court. Basketball court. We have basketball courts. This is where our swim team swims, because we don't have a pool. I'm just kidding. This is where they actually swim. This is our indoor track. This is our outdoor track. It's also our rugby field. This is where you can lift weights while looking at yourself. This is Hay Fieldhouse. This is where you can lift weights while looking at nature. This is our baseball field. We also have a softball field, but we forgot to stop there. Anyway, this is our cross-country field. Course. Thing. It's a field. Well, that's it. Principia. Back to you guys in the studio.
You know what? You did a pretty good job at showing us everything we have on this campus.
That may have been the greatest promo video I've ever. You need to make marketing videos for Principia. Oh my lord, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this next sport is the reason why I swim in a pool, not in the dirty Mississippi River, as presented in here.
Oh my gosh. The cross-country team, everybody. The men's and women's cross-country team was off to the races. Starting in early September with 7 women and 9 men that make up our Principia cross-country team. This has been the largest roster has looked since 2019, and it did not disappoint.
Nick Barron was recently hired as a cross-country coach in August of 2021 after assisting the men's soccer team for the previous 3 years. He has extensive knowledge of running, having run both indoor and outdoor track for Bates College. While there, he competed in the NCAA tournament on 3 separate occasions. Additionally, he ran the 1200 meter, see meters, not whatever you use, 1200 meter leg of the distance relay team that placed 3rd at Indoor Nationals in 2012, earning All-American honors.
Oh my gosh. The assistant coach, Emmy Schaefer, joined the group of runners as the assistant cross-country coach after completing a phenomenal senior season, placing 4th in first team and first team all-conference. Additionally, she placed 38th out of 188 runners in the NCAA Division III Midwest Regional.
Despite being an individual sport, the team atmosphere that the runners have built has created friendships that will last a lifetime. Although the sport takes a lot of these runners, both mentally and physically, they were still able to support each other throughout the season, celebrating individual accomplishments. The team's joy, love, and determination were present wherever and whenever they ran.
2 Panthers were able to get Runner of the Week in the SLIAC this year. Rex Heath and Gina Richards both winning the award in October. Rex Heath also received Runner of the Week in the previous month. The cross-country team has a beautiful course to practice and compete on. Now let's see some highlights from the season. Good Lord. I still cannot imagine running that much.
I see you running on your little tippy toes in the basketball court.
Okay, well, that's different. I have like something that I'm chasing, like an objective other than just to finish and not die.
Also, you still run.
Okay, fair. You're right, I do, but not as much as the cross-country team.
Okay, that's okay. I'll give you that little nuance.
Thank you.
With us tonight, we have Laura Mayo, a junior studying education who has been running for 2 years. How are you doing, Laura?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Thank you for being here with us tonight.
You're welcome.
It's nice to see you run on the little film thing.
Yeah, I like that too. I've never seen that film before. It was cool.
There you go.
Well, we made it especially for this broadcast, so this is the first time for everyone seeing it.
Leaking free footage.
I know.
So, tell us a bit more about how long have you been on cross country? Why did you join the team?
I've been on cross country here at Prin for 2 years. Mm-hmm. The last year that I ran, I was also playing soccer at the time, so this is technically my first full season on the cross country team, but I did run cross country and track all throughout high school and even when I was in middle school and elementary school too. So I have been running for a long time, mostly because my brother was like really into both cross country running and cross country skiing in Alaska. So me and my sister kind of just followed in his footsteps. And when I came to Principia, I was so excited to have the opportunity to run and form friendships with the team and compete, and it's just been so much fun.
Yeah. Awesome. That is really awesome. So in your kind of half season, like while you were playing soccer, what about that season kind of made you want to come back and go full throttle into it this year?
The team atmosphere was just so like welcoming and accepting, while also like simultaneously we all push each other in the hard workouts and in the races, which are really, really difficult. But we know like how to, as a team, we know the balance between working really hard but also having like a ton of fun and just creating an atmosphere where everyone is so welcome and just we all love to be there, and that really shows. And also the coaches, Nick and Emmy, they have so much love for the team, like designing the workouts and getting to know each of us as individuals, and it just creates the best place to be at 4:30.
That's awesome. I like the enthusiasm that goes with that, and I suppose it makes it a lot easier because you guys are quite a small team, as we talked about. So in your elementary and middle school and high school, I suppose you maybe had a bigger team?
Yeah, definitely. I was kind of like running just casually in elementary and middle school. But in high school, the team was much bigger, yeah.
So what kind of differences does that bring to, Prin is known to be this kind of small college type thing, and especially for a sports team. What are some maybe notable differences or things that you really liked about it compared to your high school team?
I really liked how, the individual attention from the coaches, because coaches who know your split for every 800 or mile, or what your exact paces are so that you'll get a PR. That was something that I didn't really get in high school because I wasn't on the top 7 varsity of my huge public high school. But I just loved having a coach and an atmosphere that's dedicated to who we are as individuals.
Yeah, that is really, really special. So what is your favorite memory from this season? What are you going to take away from this and bring into next year?
We have a tradition on the cross country team. Some weekends we don't have races, so we do a workout. And this one's called the team relays. And so there's always a theme, and everybody has a costume. And last year's theme was Joe. So everyone was dressing up things that were Joe, like Cup of Joe, Trader Joe's, Joe Biden. But this year it was Shrek themed. And so I dressed up, and then we run in our costumes. So they have to be runner friendly. I dressed up as 3 little pigs. I was only one of the pigs. I had 2.
Okay.
I was one of the 3 little pigs, and it was just so much fun.
That sounds like an absolute blast.
That is
my goodness,
fantastic.
I can only imagine.
If you have any photos,
yes,
you can see them on the Principia track and field and cross country Instagram.
Right.
They're on there.
Shameless plug over there as well at the same time.
I will head there right after this.
Of course. What would you say is, for someone who wants to join the team, what kind of piece of advice would you say about cross country, but also joining the Prin team?
I'd say, if you want to join cross country for the first time, this is also kind of just advice for anyone who wants to run. It gets much easier. If you have never run before, it will be so hard in the beginning, but that really, it just is easier from there as you get into shape. Kind of the point of cross country. But advice for someone who wants to join the Principia team, I'd say completely go for it. For one, being on a sports team on campus is I'd say one of the most valuable things about my day. It gives me social life and friends and exercise, and just adds structure that I need in my day, and that's so helpful. But also the cross country team is a place of so much welcome, so we would love to have you there if you were to join.
Well, there we go.
Awesome.
Go join the cross country
Sadly,
team.
I missed the season, so I will not be coming out next year because I won't be here. But it was a very convincing sales pitch.
100%.
So cross country is a super mental and physical sport. I know when we have to do outdoor runs for basketball occasionally.
See, you run.
Okay, I try to block it out. It's very traumatic for me. But I have to listen to music, or I'm just gonna lose it and just be in so much pain. I don't think you get to do that when you're running for a college cross-country team.
Yeah, well, at least in a race. No,
that's true, in the races.
Lots of other times I do have music.
So in the races, though, what are you thinking about? What's going through your head?
I mean, during the first little bit when I'm feeling really good, I kind of the first mile or so, I'm daydreaming a little bit. I'm I wonder what Nick's gonna get us for lunch. But then I think to really focus. I focus on having good form because that makes you more efficient as a runner, and then you can save your energy and just have more to kick at the end. So I daydream too, like on my long runs when I'm just like going for like 6 or 7 miles on Sundays. I mean, it's like so fun to just like be out in nature, but it's also fun to have like intentional time where you don't have to think about anything. Like, don't have to think about your homework. You just have to think about running, and that's kind of like creates a free space for your mind where you can just like have like really cool realizations or just have fun daydreaming and relaxing, spacing out. So while cross country is a really physically demanding sport, I'd say it's really kind of relaxing for the mind too.
That's awesome. I have a little question as well, and I don't know if I'm the only one that wonders that kind of stuff, but when you run on the little field, how do your ankles not like...
Oh yeah, okay, that is one thing. The Principia course is one of the best ones that I've run on because it is like not, there aren't many holes at all, but some courses do have holes, and that's like hard. I mean, you kind of just have to keep going.
Sorry, my ankle just
kind of you kind of just have to keep going. But I will say, they do, on the print course, they do a really good job of filling in the holes, so you should just
Nice.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Go run on the print course. It's a lot better than supposedly anywhere else. Well, thank you so much.
That's great.
Laura,
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. It was awesome to get to talk to you. Well, we're heading into our last sport of the night, which, crazy enough, is still in season, despite Christmas break being right around the corner. We'll be right back. Don't run away.
Oh, that's funny. Welcome back to Panther Sport Rewind. We are now on our final sport of the night, rugby.
Oh my gosh. Although it is not a traditional college sport, Principia absolutely dominates on the field. Due to the sport technically being a club, the Principia Thunder Chickens are able to play in the Division II League this year and play in the semifinals of the Division II National Collegiate Rugby Championships in Houston, Texas on December 9th at 6 p.m. Please tune in.
Please do. The Thunder Chickens also experienced shift in coaches as the previous head coach, Ward Patterson, stepped down after 30 years of coaching. Thank you, Ward. However, his voice can still be heard on the field as he assists the new head coach, Philip Kellerman. Kellerman has been coaching for over 20 years after an injury cut his playing time short at the age of 18.
The team this season consists of 25 players, 19 of whom are international, coming to play from all over the world. The team started out strong and remains strong, having only lost 1 game out of the 10 that they've played. The team has been met with challenges, both large and small, but has met every one with intensity, persistence, and drive to improve with each game they win. Let's take a look.
With us to talk about the season is Demir Konsi, sophomore, who also is captain of the team of 25. Demir, how are you doing tonight?
Hey guys, thanks for inviting me.
Of course, happy to have you. So how long have you been playing rugby?
I started playing when I was 6 years old.
Oh my gosh.
I started playing rugby because I was really bad at other sports. Like I started with tennis, I was really bad. Then basketball was really bad. So soccer also, and I was really bad. So I stayed with rugby, that I was also really bad, but I had friends, so I stayed there.
There you go.
Yeah. The friends are what made you keep coming back, or is there something else in rugby that made you want to come back every year?
Well, definitely. Yeah, definitely were my friends. I never left rugby because I felt like that I had to go there every day because I felt that my friends needed me for some reason. I was really bad. I repeat that again, but for some reason I felt that they needed me, so I was there every day.
Well, that's awesome. Well, over those many years you've been playing, you are now no longer really bad at rugby. I just want to put my 2 cents in there and say that. You were pretty darn good at rugby and awesome to watch. So we talked a little bit about the fact that the team is mostly international this year. If I'm not mistaken, that was not the case last year. What's kind of the difference between playing on an international team where maybe more of the guys have grown up playing rugby versus playing on a team with more American kids?
Well, this is going to be my 3rd semester in Principia, but when I came here we were just only 6 internationals, and like the game plan was based on those 6 guys, you know. So by the time we got to nationals, it was really complicated because some of the international guys were injured. So the game plan just went down, and it wasn't a good season for us. Even though we made it to nationals, but we lost in round of 16. So yeah, it was a good year, but we lost there. And now, well, we have a full 15 side of international guys, so it's really easy to play, and I'm really happy to play with them. They are amazing boys and amazing athletes also.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's got to be really cool, just kind of feeling like you know exactly where everyone's going to be, like when you're moving that ball on the pitch. And
Exactly. Yeah, the team chemistry is just amazing. Well, that's the good thing about rugby, you know. Like even though you have the best guy on a wing side, you have to get the ball to the guy. So the team chemistry has to be good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I mean, rugby is known to have kind of like that brotherhood and like that really good sportsmanship, and the way you guys even interact with refs on the field is just like so respectful. And I feel like rugby worldwide is known to be somewhat like that. Would you say it's the same for like a D3 school going into this D2 national championship?
Yeah, definitely. You have to be there to put the body for a teammate. So the team bonding is actually, I think, is fundamental for a team.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you guys do anything in particular to help that team bonding? Because you're always on the field, you always seem to be at work, but is there anything outside of the field that you guys do that might be fun, or anything in particular to kind of get that team bonding?
Yes, actually, when the coach came, the new coach Philip, that was one of the. It was the number 1 in the checklist of him, the team bonding. So we made a lot of foods together and a lot of activities together. So yeah.
Awesome. That's great. That's really cool. So out of so far your 2-year collegiate career at Principia, what would you say that your favorite memory's been from your seasons?
This is a tough one, but it's definitely going to be the last game that we had against Miracosta University. It was one of the toughest games we had. They had really, really good individual players. One of the centers was really strong. And they had a Samoan guy that was huge, man. That was like 130 kilos probably. And they did a haka against us, so that was cool. Like a good experience to have. So yeah, it was definitely the last game that actually led us to go to nationals.
Awesome.
And you are team captain, right?
Yes.
Yes. How do you feel as team captain, but also as a player, a very important player on the team, heading into these semi-finals when is it, next week? In a couple of weeks?
Early December.
Oof, quite soon,
Yeah,
quite soon.
very soon.
How do you feel about that?
It's in 2 weeks. I'm happy. I'm really happy. I was talking to a teammate the other day. Every time I think about national, it's just like I just turn up. You know, when I feel tired or I have to do homework or when I just wake up, I just think about nationals. It's like I just turn up so quick. So it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, that is awesome. And that is really cool that you guys get to represent our school on kind of the national stage. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys have been ranked #1 in all of Division II for a while, right?
Yeah, we don't look much to the rankings because it's just like it's just papers, and you don't play with papers. You need to see what's on the field.
For sure, that is very true. Well, we're gonna start closing down here, but we really appreciate your time. Thank you for coming, and good luck in Houston. Bring back
Thank
that
you very
championship.
much. Thank you guys for inviting me. It's
course.
very important for the team, for the Thunder Chickens, to be really appreciated by the university. We are doing, we're pushing the guys really hard. We have been training a lot. And yes, thank you for everything you guys are doing.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
I will also like to send some greetings to my family in Argentina,
Please.
of course my friends, my old teammates, and of course the boys that play with me every day and are there in every training.
Heck yeah.
Thank you so
That's
much.
awesome. Well,
Thank you.
good luck at Nationals and go get that championship for us.
Thank
man.
you, guys.
It'll be awesome.
Thank you. See, I told you about rugby people.
Okay, you're right. Well, that's about all the time we have today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight for the first episode of Panther Sport Rewind.
We hope that you guys will join us next semester for more bi-weekly recaps of the sports around campus. Thank you again, and have a good night.